The day started like any other for Dr. Elias Ward, a young xenolinguist who worked at the United Earth Embassy. The sky over New Geneva was clear, the air was cool, and everything felt normal, until the message arrived. Elias was in his tiny office, reviewing audio recordings of alien dialects, when the embassy doors suddenly opened on the security cameras. Guards shouted. People rushed through the halls. Elias lifted his head, confused. The Xerion delegation had arrived, unannounced. This never happened. The Xerions were one of the most advanced species known to humanity. They were tall, elegant, and brilliant. Their technology was decades ahead of Earth's. They were not enemies, but they were not close friends either. Every visit was carefully arranged weeks in advance. But today, something was different. Elias stepped out into the hallway, notebook still in hand. Excited whispers ran through the embassy staff. They requested an immediate meeting. Was there a problem at the border? No, someone high-ranking is with them. Elias walked toward the entrance. People shuffled aside, and he finally saw her. A Xerion woman stood in the center of the hall. She was tall, with silver-blue skin that shimmered under the lights. Her features were sharp, yet graceful, and her hair looked like flowing strands of starlight. But none of that was what shocked Elias. It was the smile. Xerions rarely smiled. Their culture valued calm control, not emotional displays. But this woman's smile was bright, warm, almost playful, like she was greeting an old friend. Her eyes landed on Elias, and her smile widened. Elias blinked. Hello? The woman stepped forward. Greetings, human. I am Commander Siravel of the Xerion Dominion. Her voice was smooth, almost musical, but there was a firm strength hidden beneath it. Elias swallowed. Welcome to Earth, Commander Vel. I'm Dr. Elias Ward, Xenolinguistics Division. Some embassy staff stared at him like he had just stepped on a diplomatic mine. Elias had no idea why. Sira's gaze stayed fixed on him, her expression unreadable except for that strange smile. Finally, she spoke. Human, she said softly, you have been assigned a companion. Elias froze. Did he hear that correctly? I'm sorry, he asked. Assigned, she repeated. A partner, a bond-matched counterpart. Then, with absolute confidence, she added, It's me. The hallway went dead silent. A few staff members gasped. Others stared in disbelief. No one spoke. Even the security officers forgot to breathe for a moment. Elias felt his brain stutter. There must be a misunderstanding. There is no misunderstanding, Sira replied. The Xerion Dominion has completed a compatibility scan. You, Elias Ward, have been selected as my bond partner. She paused, eyes gleaming with calm certainty. And I accept the match. Elias was not sure what was more shocking, the words or the quiet happiness in her voice. But, Commander, Xerions don't match with humans, he said. There is no program for that. There is now, she said simply. Elias looked around for help, but everyone else seemed equally lost. The head diplomat, Ambassador Renly, stepped forward finally. Commander Vel, he said carefully, this is extremely unexpected. Earth was not informed of any interspecies pairing program. It was not Earth's choice, Sira said politely. The Dominion has decided to begin, and Dr. Elias Ward has been selected. Elias felt lightheaded. Why him? He was just a linguist, one of hundreds. Nothing about him was special enough for an alien commander to choose, unless something was very wrong. Ambassador Renly cleared his throat. Perhaps we should discuss this in the meeting room. Yes, Sira agreed, still looking at Elias. He will join. Elias pointed at himself. Me? Of course. Her tone made it sound obvious. This concerns you directly. Before Elias could object, Sira continued walking down the hall with long, graceful steps. Her guards followed, Earth diplomats scrambled after her. Elias stood frozen until someone nudged him. "Go," whispered a colleague. "You can't say no. She's looking at you like you already belong there." Elias sighed and hurried after the group. Inside the council room, the room was quiet when the doors sealed. A long glass table shimmered with projected data. Sira took the seat opposite the Earth representatives, and Elias reluctantly sat beside Ambassador Renly. "Commander Vel," Renly began carefully, "perhaps you can explain what this pairing means." Sira folded her hands neatly. "The Dominion has observed humanity's growth. Your species is unpredictable, adaptive, and emotionally dynamic. Many of our scholars believe humans will someday influence the galaxy in extraordinary ways." Some diplomats exchanged confused looks. "We initiated a compatibility scan between our species," Sira continued. "Not for reproduction. Your people worry too much, but for psychological and cognitive alignment." Elias frowned. "You scanned every human?" "No," she said. "Only those who came into contact with Xerion diplomatic channels." Elias's heart skipped. "Because I spoke with Xerion delegates last month?" "Yes, and during that interaction, your cognitive pattern displayed a rare resonance." "A resonance?" Elias echoed. Sira nodded. "A perfect match with my own." The room fell silent again. Elias stared at her. "But why would you accept such a match?" Her smile returned, soft but bright. "Because Xerions do not ignore the unusual, and humans," she added, tilting her head, "have a talent for changing everything they touch." There was something almost proud in her voice, almost fond. Ambassador Renly stepped in. "Commander, Earth must review this. Human individuals cannot be assigned partners without consent." Sira met his gaze calmly. "Consent is important, which is why I came myself." She then turned to Elias. "Dr. Ward, you may choose to accept or decline." The diplomat stiffened. This was the first good news. Elias opened his mouth, prepared to respond, but Sira spoke again gently. "However, if you decline, the Dominion will end the pilot program with humanity." Everyone froze. "The scientific exchange, the technology sharing, the exploration alliances," she continued, "they are tied to this program's success." Elias realized something chilling. A single word from him could change Earth's entire future. He looked up at Sira. Her expression was calm, steady, patient. But her eyes, they held an emotion he couldn't name. Not pressure, not threat. Something warmer, something curious. He whispered, mostly to himself, "Why me?" "Because," she said softly, "of all the humans I met, you were the first one whose mind felt like a star waking up." The words hit him harder than any diplomatic order. And for the first time, Elias wondered if this was not a mistake, but the beginning of something the galaxy had never seen before. The meeting ended, but Elias felt like his world had just started spinning. Diplomats spoke around him, people gathered notes, and the Xerion guards stood still like statues. Yet Elias heard nothing except the echo of Sira's words. A star waking up. He didn't understand what she saw in him, but the way she said it stayed in his mind like a warm spark. Sira rose from her seat with graceful movements. "We will continue this conversation in a private chamber," she announced. "Dr. Elias Ward will join me." Every human in the room turned to Elias with a mix of pity, confusion, and a little envy. But nobody argued, not when a high-ranking Xerion made the request directly. Elias stood slowly. His heart raced, but he tried to appear calm. "All right," he said, though he wasn't sure if this was bravery or complete panic. Sira inclined her head in a polite bow. "Follow me." The Star Chamber. The Xerion Embassy extension beneath the building was rarely used. Humans called it the Star Chamber because its walls were made of a special material that reflected starlight patterns. When Sierra led Elias inside, the room glowed with shifting constellations that made the ceiling look like a living night sky. The door closed behind them with a soft hum. Elias swallowed. Being alone with an alien commander felt strange enough. Being alone with an alien commander who had just chosen him as a bond partner felt like stepping into another world entirely. Sierra walked ahead, her steps light and deliberate. "You are unsettled," she observed. "Of course I'm unsettled," Elias replied honestly. "A few hours ago, I was writing a report about vowel systems. Now I'm apparently your match?" Sierra turned to him with a small smile. "You are honest. That is good. Xerions appreciate direct truth. Well, the direct truth is, I don't understand any of this," Elias admitted. "Why me? Why now? Why would the Dominion start something like this without warning?" Sierra moved closer, stopping just a few feet away. Her height made Elias feel slightly smaller, but her presence wasn't threatening, only intense. "Humans grow faster than your own species realizes," she said quietly. "You learn fast. You adapt fast. Your emotional spectrum is wide, unpredictable, and powerful." "That sounds dramatic," Elias said. "It is also accurate." Her eyes shimmered like silver water. "For years, the Dominion has studied you, not as a threat, not as a simple ally, but as something new." Elias frowned. "Something new?" Sierra nodded. "Your species changes the environment wherever it goes, not by force but by curiosity. You push boundaries without noticing. You inspire other species to question old limits." She paused. "Including mine." Elias blinked. "So you chose me because I'm human?" "No," she said. "I chose you because of your mind." The cognitive resonance. Sierra raised her hand and touched a small device on her wrist. A projection appeared between them, gentle lines of light forming a symmetrical pattern. "This is my cognitive signature," she explained. "A map of thought frequency, response patterns, emotional structure." Elias stared. "It looks like a glowing snowflake." Sierra actually laughed, a soft, surprised sound. "Yes, a simple way to say it." Another pattern appeared beside it, more uneven, more colorful, and less controlled. "That is yours," she said. Elias frowned. "Mine looks messy." "It looks alive," Sierra corrected. "Your pattern resonates with mine at 7 points. That is extremely rare." "7 points?" Elias repeated. "Yes. For Xerions, even 1 point means potential alliance. 2 points means high compatibility. But 7, she paused, her voice lowering. 7 only happens with extreme cognitive harmony." "And that means partnership?" Elias asked carefully. "In our culture," she said, "it means trust. It means shared growth. It means the possibility of deep understanding." Elias looked at the projection again. 2 patterns, one neat and perfect, one vibrant and chaotic, glowed side by side, and somehow they fit together like puzzle pieces. He felt something warm in his chest. "So, you didn't choose me for romance?" he asked. Sierra shook her head. "Not romance, not yet. Bonds are not about that first. They are about knowledge, cooperation, and evolution." Elias let out a slow breath. "That is slightly less terrifying." Sierra's smile softened. "You are not a possession, Elias Ward. You are not a forced partner. You are a chosen counterpart." The sincerity in her voice calmed him more than he expected. Earth's dilemma. Footsteps approached outside the chamber. A soft knock followed. "Dr. Ward, Commander Vell," Ambassador Renly called. "May we speak?" Sierra touched the door panel. It opened without sound. Renly entered with 2 diplomats behind him. "Commander, Earth has considered your proposal. We understand the purpose of your bonding program, but we also have concerns. Sierra folded her hands behind her back politely. State them. Human individuals must give informed consent, Renly said firmly. If Elias chooses to decline, we ask that the Dominion honor that choice without affecting diplomatic relations. Syra considered the request, her expression unreadable. We will honor his decision, but the program's continuation is tied to his acceptance. Elias saw the tension in Renly's shoulders. Earth relied heavily on Xerion technology, medical breakthroughs, energy systems, star navigation. Losing that partnership would set humanity back decades. He felt pressure building, not because Sierra forced him, but because Earth needed cooperation. Sierra turned her eyes to him again. Do not let the weight of nations decide for you, she said calmly. The bond must be real, or it is meaningless. Renly nodded. Exactly. Elias, the choice is yours. Elias looked at the diplomats, then at Sierra, then at the glowing constellations above him. His life had never felt more important or more confusing. He took a long breath. I need to understand what happens if I accept. What does this bond actually require? Sierra stepped toward him slowly. If you accept, you will join me in the Dominion for a research exchange. We will work together, learn from each other, and represent our species as partners. No extreme rituals, no strange rules. None, she assured. Just cooperation and curiosity. Elias hesitated. And if I decline? Sierra lowered her head slightly. Then I will return home alone. And perhaps I will wonder forever what we might have discovered together. The quiet emotion in her voice surprised him. It wasn't pressure, it was honest disappointment. Elias felt something shift inside him. He didn't have an answer yet, but he knew one thing. He wanted to know why this alien, this calm, brilliant commander with the impossible smile, believed in him so strongly. Elias didn't sleep much that night. His room in the embassy felt smaller than usual, and every time he closed his eyes, he saw Sierra's silver eyes watching him with that soft, confident smile. He replayed her words over and over. The bond must be real, or it is meaningless. You were the first human whose mind felt like a star waking up. No one had ever spoken to him like that. Not a human, not an alien, not anyone. He didn't know if he believed in destiny, but Sierra made it sound like this connection between them was more than an accident. Something rare, something important. And now, Earth was waiting for his answer. The answer. By morning, Elias walked through the embassy halls with tired eyes but a steady heartbeat. The diplomats were already gathered, whispering nervously. The Xerion delegation stood silent and patient. And Sierra. She stood in the center of the room like a calm star in the middle of chaos. Her gaze found him the moment he entered. "Good morning, Elias Ward," she said softly. Everyone stared at him. Renly approached. "Elias, have you made your decision? Earth will respect whatever you choose." Elias exhaled slowly. Then he looked at Sierra. "I accept," he said. The room erupted into murmurs. Some diplomats sighed in relief, others looked shocked. The Xerion guards nodded respectfully. But Sierra? Her smile grew, not wide or dramatic, but warm, full of something almost human. "Thank you," she said. "You will not regret this." Elias hoped she was right. Preparing for departure. Within hours, plans were in motion. Elias was given a small suitcase, a translator device, a few Earth-made tools, and a long list of instructions he forgot immediately. He walked behind Sierra as she led him through the embassy toward the landing platform. "You are nervous," she observed while they walked. "Yes," Elias admitted. "I'm leaving my home planet for the first time, with an alien commander I barely know." Sierra's voice softened. "You will know me. and I will know you. That is the purpose of the bond." "That phrase again?" Elias muttered. "Bond. Sounds intense." "It is simply cooperation," she said, "but cooperation at a deep level." "How deep?" he asked cautiously. Sira glanced at him, eyes sparkling with mild amusement. "Calm yourself. There are no binding rituals, no forced closeness. It is not a romantic bond. It is a partnership of minds." Elias nodded slowly. That explanation felt easier to accept. "Besides," Sira added, "you humans misunderstand intensity. To Xyrans, the mind is the most intimate connection. Physical closeness is secondary." Elias cleared his throat. "Good to know." Sira tilted her head. "You are embarrassed?" "No, maybe. Okay, yes." Her soft laugh echoed down the hallway. The Xyran ship. They reached the landing bay, where a sleek silver vessel hovered gently above the ground. It looked like liquid metal shaped into a perfect curve. No engines were visible, and the air around it shimmered faintly. Elias stared. "This is beautiful." Sira nodded. "It is called the Lunaris. It will take us to the Dominion's central world." Elias stepped closer, mesmerized. "It looks like it's alive." "In a way it is," Sira said. "Xyran ships adapt to their pilots. They respond to thought patterns." Elias blinked. "So the ship can read your mind?" "Yes," Sira said simply. "And soon it will read yours as well." His eyes widened. "Wait, what?" "Only basic patterns," she assured. "Navigation, stress signals, safety responses, nothing more." Elias swallowed hard. "That's still a lot." Sira placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. Her touch was cool and light, like starlight itself. "Do not fear. The Lunaris is safe, and I will be with you." Elias felt the tension leave his chest. She really was calming. Departure. The ship opened with a soft sound, like a sigh. Inside, the walls glowed gently, creating a soft, peaceful atmosphere. Elias followed Sira to two seats shaped like smooth stone. They weren't chairs exactly, more like molded supports that adjusted as he sat. "This is very comfortable," he admitted. "Xyran technology adapts to the user's body," Sira said. "We value harmony." The doors sealed. A soft hum filled the air. Elias felt a small vibration under his feet, then silence. Complete silence. Then the world outside began to shrink. The ship lifted higher and higher until Earth looked like a beautiful blue sphere behind them. Elias felt something stir in his chest. Awe, fear, excitement, everything mixed together. Sira watched him quietly. "Your expression is interesting." "I just left my planet," Elias whispered. "I don't know if I'll ever see it the same way again." "You will return," Sira said. "But when you do, you will see it with new eyes." Elias nodded slowly. "You speak like someone who's traveled a lot." "I have," she said. "I have visited many worlds. Each time I learned something new. Now, I will learn from you." Her eyes softened. "And you from me." In the quiet of space, the Lunaris entered a calm flight path. Stars stretched around them like endless diamonds. Elias leaned back, overwhelmed. "This is unreal." Sira folded her hands. "It will become real in time." He looked at her. "Can I ask something?" "Always." "Why do you smile so much? Xerans don't usually show emotions." Sira looked surprised. "You notice this?" "It's kind of hard not to," Elias said. She paused before answering. "I smile because you are refreshing." Elias blinked. "Refreshing? Like a drink?" Sira laughed again, gentle, warm. "No, refreshing like a new idea. Humans express emotion freely. You do not hide your thoughts. You speak your confusion aloud. You ask questions even when afraid." Elias shrugged. "I guess that's just being human." "Exactly." She leaned slightly closer, her voice sincere. "And I find that beautiful." Elias froze. Beautiful? Him? He didn't know how to respond. Before he could say anything, the ship lights shifted to a soft blue. "We are approaching the Dominion Gateway," Sira said. "Prepare yourself." Elias took a deep breath. "For what?" "For a world unlike anything you have seen." Her hand brushed his, lightly, almost by accident, but the contact sent a small warmth through him. "The real journey," Sira said softly, "begins now." And as the ship glided into the glow of the gateway, Elias knew she wasn't exaggerating. Nothing about his life would ever be normal again. The moment the Lunaris passed through the gateway, Elias felt a soft pulse of energy beneath his seat. The stars outside stretched into thin lines, then folded into bright swirls of color. It wasn't like human hyperdrives. No shaking, no force, no loud hum. It felt almost like drifting through warm water. Sira glanced at him. "Your heart rate has increased." "Of course it has," Elias whispered. This is beautiful." Outside, a massive ring-shaped structure glowed with white and gold patterns. Dozens of Xerion ships glided through it like gentle fish in a cosmic sea. "This is the Astra Gate," Sira explained, "the entrance to the Dominion's core worlds." Elias couldn't look away. "It's like an ornament in space." "Many species think so," Sira said with a small smile. "But it is also one of the most advanced pieces of technology we have ever built." The Lunaris passed through another layer of shimmering light, and suddenly an enormous world came into view. A glowing sphere with silver oceans, floating crystal-like cities, and rings of brilliant energy. Elias stared with wide eyes. "Is that your home planet?" "Yes," Sira said softly. "Welcome to Xerion." First steps on a new world. The ship descended gently through the atmosphere. Instead of clouds, shimmering particles danced around them like floating dust made of light. Elias leaned forward, mesmerized. "What are those?" he asked. "Lumina particles," Sira explained. "They filter energy from our sun. They also provide light during the night." "So your night sky glows?" "In places, yes," she said. "You will see." The ship landed in a wide landing bay made of smooth white stone that curved like flowing water. As the doors opened, warm air washed over Elias. The scent was soft, slightly sweet, slightly metallic, but pleasant. Sira stepped out first. "Come, Elias. The council is expecting us." Elias followed, his heart pounding. The bay was filled with Xerions, tall, elegant figures with shimmering skin in shades of silver, blue, or soft lavender. They watched him with curious eyes, but not with hostility. One of them, an older Xerion with bright silver markings along his temples, approached. "Commander Vel," he said, bowing slightly. "You have returned safely?" Sira bowed back. "Elder Nitrous, this is Dr. Elias Ward from Earth." Nitrous studied Elias calmly. "A human. This is rare." "Yes," Sira said. "He is the chosen match for the cognitive bond trial." Nitrous tilted his head. "I see. A brave human, then?" Elias felt heat rise in his cheeks. I'm trying." Nitrous smiled in a reserved Xerion way. "That is enough." The Hall of Resonance. Sira led Elias through long hallways lit by soft, glowing lines on the floor. Every wall curved elegantly, every sound echoed gently. Everything seemed designed for peace and clarity. "This feels like walking through calm water," Elias said. "That is intentional," Sira replied. "Our architecture is shaped to encourage balance." Eventually, they stepped into a large circular room, the Hall of Resonance. At the center was a floating sphere of light, gently rotating like a tiny star. Elias stared. "What is that?" "It is the resonance core," Sira explained. "Every bond partner stands before it. It reads our patterns and ensures compatibility." Elias swallowed. I thought we were already matched. We are, Sira said. But this core will confirm our alignment and establish the bond link. It is not binding. It only strengthens cooperation and understanding. Elias nodded nervously. Okay. What do I need to do? Stand beside me, Sira said, extending her hand. Elias hesitated only a moment before taking it. Her hand was cool and steady. The sphere brightened instantly. Lines of light spread across the floor, moving toward them like gentle waves. Elias felt a warm tingling in his chest, not painful, just a soft awareness, like someone whispering near his ear. Sira spoke calmly. The core is reading your mind's surface waves. Keep calm. Think freely. Elias tried his best. He thought about Earth, about his family, about the first time he met Sira, about her strange smile, about the way she called him a star. The sphere pulsed, slow, steady, warm. Then something unexpected happened. Two patterns formed inside the sphere, one neat and symmetrical, Sira's, one chaotic and colorful, Elias's. They glowed brighter, then moved closer, then overlapped into a brilliant point of light. Sira inhaled softly. It is complete. Nitrous, who had been watching, stepped forward. The resonance is strong, very strong. I have never seen a human align so clearly. Elias blinked. What does that mean? Sira turned to him. It means our partnership is real. You and I will understand each other more easily. We may think differently, but our minds move in harmony. Elias felt something shift inside him, like the moment before discovering something important. But why me? He asked again, softly. Sira looked at him with gentle honesty. Because your mind is unpredictable. Because you question everything. Because you see the world with curiosity instead of fear. She smiled, small, sincere, warm. And because when you look at me, you do not see a commander, you see a person. Elias felt his breath catch. Well, you are a person. Sira seemed touched, even if her expression stayed calm. Many forget that. A walk through Xerion. After the ceremony, Sira guided him through a wide balcony overlooking the capital city. Floating platforms carried Xerions from place to place. Silver birds with glowing wings soared above. Buildings shimmered like crystal towers. Elias whispered, "This world is incredible." Sira looked at him, her eyes soft. "And now you are part of it." They stepped onto a floating platform that drifted forward like a gentle breeze, offering a grand view of Xerion's shining horizon. I never expected any of this, Elias said. Not the bond, not the journey, not the connection. Sira's voice softened. Connections grow through choice, Elias, and you chose to come. He looked at her. Do you regret choosing me? She stopped walking, turning to face him fully. No, she said. I do not regret it. You are different from what I expected. Humans often are. That is why the galaxy fears or admires you. And what do you feel? Elias asked quietly. Sira held his gaze. Curiosity, respect, and something new to me. She paused. When you speak, my mind becomes calmer. When you smile, the resonance brightens. I do not fully understand this feeling yet, but I want to. Elias's heart thumped hard. Sira, he started, unsure what to say. She looked at him with her soft, impossible smile. We will learn together. Elias took a breath he didn't realize he was holding. Maybe this bond wasn't about science at all. Maybe it was about two minds, two worlds, changing each other. And as the floating platform carried them across the glowing city, Elias understood something simple but powerful. He wasn't afraid anymore. He was ready.